We prepare for the financial side of life after work, but very rarely do we prepare for the emotional shifts, the psychological challenges, and the profound identity changes that retirement inevitably brings. And here's the truth. Whether retirement comes at 65 or even earlier, every single one of us will face it. The question is, will you be emotionally ready? This isn't something we talk about enough, yet I've seen it again and again. People who planned meticulously for financial security, but found themselves emotionally bankrupt in retirement. That's why today, I want to take you through what I call the Emotional Retirement Checklist, a guide you can follow in your 30s, 40s, and 50s, so that by the time retirement comes, you don't just survive it, you thrive in it. The first item on the checklist is purpose. When work no longer defines your days, you'll need something else to anchor you. Think of it as a new mission. This doesn't mean you need to find another career, but it does mean you need to ask yourself, what will get me out of bed in the morning? For some people, it might be volunteering. For others, it could be writing, traveling, mentoring younger generations, or finally dedicating time to creative pursuits that were left behind. Purpose doesn't always come in grand forms. Sometimes it's simply committing to growth, to learning, or to nurturing relationships. The important part is to have something that makes your days meaningful. Without it, retirement can feel like drifting in open water with no direction. The second checkpoint is identity. For most of our lives, when we introduce ourselves, we lead with our profession. I'm a teacher. I'm an engineer. I'm a manager. What happens when that title is gone? Who are you when your career is no longer your defining feature? This identity gap can lead to deep feelings of loss. Preparing for this means working on expanding your sense of self long before retirement. You're not just your job. You are also a friend, a parent, a partner, a thinker, a dreamer, a creator. The earlier you start embracing these other facets of yourself, the smoother the emotional transition will be later on. The third item is relationships. Work often gives us built-in social connections. Colleagues, teams, clients, they create a web of human contact that suddenly disappears when you leave. Loneliness is one of the biggest unspoken challenges of retirement. That's why your checklist must include cultivating relationships outside of work. Build friendships, strengthen family bonds, join communities, clubs, or groups that align with your interests. Emotional retirement isn't just about how you feel in your own mind. It's also about the support system you'll have around you. Invest in people now, so that you don't feel isolated later. Next comes flexibility. Retirement is a big change, and with any big change, adaptability is key. If you're someone who struggles with change, start practicing now. Small acts of flexibility in daily life, trying new activities, meeting new people, exploring unfamiliar environments, help build the mental muscle you'll need when everything shifts later on. Think of it as emotional cross-training. The more open you are to adjusting, the more resilient you'll be. The fifth point is health, not just physical, but emotional and mental health. You can't enjoy retirement if your body or mind isn't supporting you. This means not only taking care of yourself physically, but also paying attention to your emotional patterns. Are you someone who suppresses feelings? Do you struggle with anxiety or low moods? Don't wait until retirement magnifies those challenges. Begin building coping mechanisms now. Therapy, mindfulness, journaling, healthy conversations. These practices form your emotional savings account. When life after work tests you, you'll have reserves to draw from. Another crucial part of the checklist is growth. Retirement doesn't mean an end to learning or to personal evolution. In fact, one of the biggest predictors of emotional well-being in older age is a continued sense of growth. Read, study, explore hobbies, learn skills, challenge your mind. Growth makes life feel expansive, and without it, retirement can feel like a slow shrinking of your world. The idea is not to stagnate, but to keep evolving, no matter what age you are. We also need to talk about legacy. Retirement often brings with it questions of what we've contributed to the world. Did my life matter? What have I left behind? This doesn't always mean children or wealth. Legacy can be as simple as kindness, wisdom, or memories you've created with others. Begin shaping your legacy intentionally. Ask yourself, what do I want people to remember me for? What mark do I want to leave behind? This gives depth and weight to the later years of life. Now let's address routine. One of the most underestimated emotional needs is structure. Work gave you that automatically. Meetings, deadlines, schedules. Without it, time can feel like quicksand. Create a new routine that balances rest, activity, connection, and creativity. A rhythm to your days and weeks will keep you grounded. Retirement doesn't have to mean chaos or aimless drifting. With a self-created routine, it can become a season of intentional living. Finally, joy. Retirement should not just be endured, it should be enjoyed. What brings you joy? Is it travel, gardening, music, spirituality, spending time with grandchildren, or simply the freedom to sit with a book in the afternoon sun? Start discovering those joys now. Learn what fills you with lightness, what makes life feel worth living beyond productivity. This is the heart of emotional retirement, giving yourself permission to delight in life. I want to leave you with this thought. One day, all of us will step away from the roles and titles that have defined us for years. What will remain is who we are, who we've loved, and how we've lived. If you begin your emotional retirement planning today, that future will not feel like loss, but like a new chapter rich with meaning. If this spoke to you, I invite you to subscribe and be part of this space where we explore these deeper questions together. Let's build a community of people who are not afraid to plan, not just for their bank accounts, but for their souls. Because in the end, none of us should have to face these transitions alone.